Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
What's going on, everybody?
Audio
What's
Jungle.
going on? What's going on? Stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself. Stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Hey, you ever thought about starting your own podcast, but don't know what to do or where to go or how to even start a podcast? Well, I got the answer for you. It's called Anchor. Anchor is the only app where you can record, edit, distribute your podcast to multiple platforms like Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcast, and other platforms. Why don't you try it out? Just go to anchor.fm and start your podcast and become a podcaster. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy w-ENRI, aka TDA, the Devil's Advocate, and we are back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back with another episode of I'm Just Saying the Podcast with ENRI. I'll be your host, ENRI. And today, on some G-ish, today I want to talk about, if I want to be 100% honest, today I want to talk about my first day in Marcy. I'm going to take it back, man. I actually was supposed to do this episode, but out of respect for the family, there is a person who I'm going to mention in here who is no longer with us. So I had to reach out to the family and get their blessing and get their okay first. I knew I was gonna get it because, you know, I'm pretty close with the family. I'm good peoples. They're good peoples. And it's Marcy. You know, Marcy, spread love is the Brooklyn way. You know what I'm saying? Just the code. But just out of respect, because that was my homie, I had to, get the okay. And shout out to Shaniva, his big sis. She gave me the okay. So we here. But yeah. First time I moved into Marcy. Let's see. I was entering the 6th grade. Yeah. I was entering the 6th grade. It was early. It had to be September. Because school just started. But I just moved in with my mom. For those who don't know, before I moved to Marcy, I was in the system. The crazy part is I wasn't too far from... Now that I know... The crazy part is when I was a little kid, I used to think New York City was like the world. Like, when I mean the world, I think New York City... I knew there was other places in the world, but I thought New York City was as big as the world, if you get my concept. Like, you look at a map, the world map, and be like, damn, there's a lot of places, blah, 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 blah. To me, New York City was the world map. That's how big it was, like location-wise, because it was hell getting from the, and then I was a Manhattan and the Bronx nigga first. I was a Bronx and Manhattan nigga. So just from going from the Bronx to Manhattan, I knew like, damn, that was hella far, da-da-da. But now I lived in Brooklyn. And I'm like, oh my God, this shit is super far from the Bronx to Queens, which it is. But at this time, I was living in, and shout out to my foster mother, who also is gone. One of the best foster mothers, if not the best foster mother that I have. Shout out to Xanthi Jenkins. Sleep in peace, queen. Dang, I'm just realizing how many people are no longer with me in order for me to tell this story. There are at least 5 people who are no longer with me, just coming through the memories of the story. It's crazy. But yeah, at the time I was before I moved to Marcy, I was living in Weeksville. Now, for y'all who don't know Weeksville is like literally across the street from Albany Projects. It's like a projects, but it ain't a projects. It was like, you know what I'm saying? It's more like a side block than a project, but you could compare it to the project if you wanted to. It's more like side block. And the crazy part is, not to do another sidebar, but I lived in the Weeksville houses when I was, 12? No, it was 11 and 12, right? Yeah, 11, 12. My daughter is now living in Weeksville houses, my oldest. It's crazy. Her building is the building behind my old building. This is crazy. I just thought it was crazy. But yeah, getting back to the story. So, you know, I moved from Weeksville houses. You know, my mother earns us back. So we go back, we move in, everything is cool. I think we moved in at nighttime. I believe we moved in at night. And then there was the weekend. I believe we moved in on a Friday and it was a weekend. Yeah, I believe so. It was a Friday, it was a weekend. Friday night. So, you know, I moved in that night. I didn't go outside. I went to sleep. That morning, it was a crazy day the whole day. That morning, I went outside. I won't never, ever forget it. This is the first time I met my man EJ. Well, I'm EJ now, but I didn't go by EJ back then. My man EJ, my man Fred, we called him EJ because his pops name was E, so he was EJ, like E Jr. I'm not gonna say his real name out here out of respect, but yes, sir. That's when I first met my boy EJ, and I came to the court. I'll never forget it. I thought I was fly with my Kobe Bryant basketball, right? And this is how you could tell the difference in boroughs and hoopers. In Manhattan, my Kobe Bryant basketball was God. Everybody wanted to play. It was purple and gold. Everything. Oh, it was fire. But, pause in advance. It was rubber. Yes, it wasn't the official tissue. It was one of them rubber splendors. One of them shits that if you shoot off the wrong double rim, that shit'll go boing and never come back down like a rock shit. Like one of those. So I'm going to the court shooting and shit. It was like, I think EJ said something. I was like, yeah. He's like, you hoop? I was like, yeah, I hoop. He was like, oh, I don't know. Not playing with a ball like that. I'm like, what you mean? What's wrong with my boy? This Kobe. He said, they got some rubber ball. That ain't the authentic ball they use. Out the gate, punching my head off. Out the gate. Welcome to Marcy. Out the gate, right? He starts ranking on me. Out the gate. And I'm like, oh, shit. I mean, I don't know. A ball's a ball. To me, a basketball was a basketball. He was like, nah, man, there's a difference. And this is how I know I wasn't a hooper. This nigga is breaking down intricacies of the basketball. So, after this conversation, I'm like, hey, fuck all that. We hooping. We play one-on-one. At first, the game is till 11. And y'all know usually the rules. Go to 11, but you got to win by 2. That doesn't happen. Me and EJ are in the game of our lives. I'm the new nigga who just moved into Marcy. See, the crazy part is, now looking back, I didn't know that this was, how can I say it? An interview, I guess. They were seeing how, say what my game was like. I didn't know that. I thought I'm gonna inform y'all on a lot of shit right now. Before I moved to Marcy, I was naive to a whole lot of shit. A whole lot of shit. Marcy, how can I say it? Marcy raised a nigga quickly. I think within my first 90 days in Marcy, I've aged 5 years. Just of learning how shit go. You'll see in the story. Anyway, so me and EJ, we hooping. The game is tied 10-10. Fuck it, we gonna boost it up to 15. All right, cool. The game get tired to 15. All right, we gonna boost this shit up to 21. Cool. The game get tired around 20. We say fuck that. 25 straight. Whoever win. Like, I believe who won that game that night? I believe he won that game. I think was it 24-25? Yeah, I think he might have won that game 24-25, or I won that game 24-25. I can't remember. But long story short, we were hooping. We hooped. And then by that time, the rest of the people came out. I guess I was out early or whatever like that. And then we was hooping for a little bit. But then we all went to the baseball field. You know what I'm saying? Because at that particular time, it was still, nice out, whatever. So we went to the softball field to play baseball. And that's where I met everybody. It was me, EJ, who else? Dason, me, EJ, Dede, rest in peace, my nigga Hambone. That ain't the name I'm trying to remember. The name I'm trying to remember, I can't remember. That's why I'm trying to get his name out the way now, so that way everybody else know. I know it's me, Hambone, Dason, EJ, was Jose there? Rest in peace, Jose. But no, Jose wasn't there. Damn, there's too many rest in pieces in this goddamn story. Now that I'm thinking about it. What's the Irvin? Irvin, that's the nigga. I couldn't remember. I had to remember his name because he's very important part of the story. Very important. He's at a very integral part of the story. It was Irvin, the Haitian nigga that lived on the second floor of Peter building. I think Peter was there too. I think the whole crew was there. Well, not the whole crew, but most of the crew was there. Trav, Lewis. Was Lewis there? No, we didn't meet Lewis yet. I didn't meet Lewis yet. I'm lying. Lewis was not there when I first moved in. Lewis, Miguel, and them, they was not there yet. Because I remember when I first met Lewis, he was doing kick flips on a skateboard in the middle of the projects. We thought that shit was like the dopest shit ever. You could tell how ghetto we were. We wasn't used to skateboarding, but he doing kickflips was like the dopest shit ever. We thought that nigga was like the skateboard god. But yeah. So we're sitting there. We're sitting. I think we're picking team. Oh, Latel was there. Latel. I remember. Yep, Latel was there for the first floor of my building. Yeah. So we had enough for a baseball game. So it was. I think it was what happened is it was other niggas from. Like, you know how they ain't the crew, but they still in the projects? Like you know what I'm saying? We had other people from other sides of the project, but they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Crew. So we sitting there, roughhousing, playing out. We still picking teams. We all picking teams right now. The game ain't even started. We picking teams. And, you know what I'm saying? Me and my nigga Hambone, rest in peace. Yes, Hambone, man. That was my nigga. My nigga Hambone. We start horse playing or whatever like that. And I guess there was a little, I guess the pressure points. You start squeezing pressure points like that. So he squeezes my pressure point, and I squeeze back. And now we're in a full squeezing pressure point match, right? We're the full squeezing pressure. Oh! Very, 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 very important. Very, 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 very important. The night before, let me go back a little. The night before, right? As I'm laying down trying to count my sheep, sipping my warm milk so I can lay down and relax. All I hear is, oh, shit, oh. My first introduction to the projects. Oh, shit, oh. I look outside, somebody getting their ass whooped by this big boy. Boy, this boy is beating the dog shit out this nigga, right? Long story short, I'm not going to tell you about what happened. I'm not going to incriminate nobody. I don't know what's what. But it's Hambone's other brother, Buck. His older brother, Buck. So remember that. Keep that in the back of your head, right? Keep that in your back of your head. Because I skipped a lot of points, especially like the intricate in-between parts where we ran the Chiefy. Got us some fries and the 50 cent Sunny Dales. I skipped the part how we went to the game room and the pool hall. I skipped that part because those was like those were stops, but it was like it's part of like if I was doing a movie, I would have included it, but not for a podcast. Like I ain't the juicy part, right? But between all that time, I've realized that this. Excuse me, somebody talk about me. But within all of that, between the basketball game with EJ and on the baseball field, I've learned that this nigga Hambone was related to 50% of the projects. Like you don't understand. Dede, the nigga I mentioned, that's his uncle. I met his sister earlier because it was my first time ever seeing a girl that light and that thick. I wasn't used to that. Not a black chick that light and that thick. She's high yellow, but I saw Gina on TV, like, but I lived in Washington Heights. The only reason you that light is because you Boricua or Dominican. Like shit. It was Boricua, Dominican, black or white. And it was black, you was brown, black. Like, that's it. So, or if you were light skinned, you wasn't that, you wasn't stacked up like the way Shaniva was. Shaniva, I think, when I moved in, I was 12, so I made her what? She's like a year or two younger than me, so 11, 12-ish or whatever like that. And she was stacked up at that age. Ass, titties, all that. Luckily for me, I wasn't into that yet, but she was stacked up. So I'm like, yo, who? And then she was tall. Yeah, I gotta remember. At 12, I didn't get my growth spurt. I didn't get my growth spurt to 16. So I'm still 5'2", 5'3" at 12, and Shanique was like 5'8". Like, so I was like, and I think that's probably why that became my kryptonite, low key, when it came to women. My kryptonite, well, no, Shanique was light. But my kryptonite is like, well, I just gotta go for. If I see a tall, dark skinned woman with the fatty, I needs that. I gotta holla at that. I need parts in that. A thick chick, 5'11" or taller with the cake, I need parts of that. I'm climbing that. Well, I'm not that short, but to other niggas they'll be climbing that, and I'm climbing too. But anyway, let's get back to the story because these are important parts here. So. Throughout the day, I know that Shaniva's his sister, Buck is his brother, Dede's his cousin, Dede's mom's his aunt. You got, rest in peace, Uncle Red. Like, all right, cool. So now, let's fast forward to what we got now. Now we're in the pulling pressure point. We're pressure point pushing, right? I guess Hambone snaps. Because I guess I must have hit the pressure point a little too hard, right? Because I go from squeezing the hell out of his pressure point. It was his left shoulder one. The one between the collarbone and, So I'm squeezing the hell out of it, right? And we're both holding on. Looks like we're having we're just horse wrestling. And then all I feel was poof, poof, poof. And then I feel liquid coming down my nose. Now, I don't know what just happened, right? I don't know what just happened. But what I assume what happened because of what came out of Irvin's mouth is this nigga just hit me and I'm bleeding. Because Irvin said, he looked at me with that oh shit face. Like, he looked at me and said, oh, Hambone not playing no more. Once he said that, Hambone reiterated what he said in his angry tone, I'm not playing no more. And this is how I know that I am very, 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 very quick-witted. Quick-witted. Very smart on the go. Because in that moment, I could afford it. Which I would have probably ended up fighting more than just him. But in that moment, it was like a good 5 to 15 seconds. Within that 5 to 15 seconds, this is exactly what went through my mind. Alright, we gonna beat this nigga up. Wait, hold on. Wasn't his brother the nigga that beat the shit out of dog last night? Yup. Ain't his sister the tall, dry-skinned giant in it? Yup. Ain't that his cousin right there? Yup. Like, y'all don't understand the significance I'm trying to say. Buck was Buck, man. It's what the name said. Hey, Buck, if you hear this, I love you, brother. Of course, niggas done got older, niggas that got smarter, niggas move different now. But you gotta remember, when we're young in the project, bro, Buck had to be like 16 that time, bro. When you 16, 17, nigga, you ain't giving a fuck about nothing. You ain't giving a fuck about shit, nigga. Like, it is what it is, nigga. And Buck was one of them niggas that you did not mess with back then. Hell, bro, let me tell y'all something. Buck was so much of one of them niggas. He was beating somebody's ass. They ran and got a razor, right? And Buck at that time, Buck didn't do weapons. If you couldn't see me with your hands, I don't want to see you. I'm not getting no knife. I'm not getting no gun. We gonna live to see tomorrow. We got a problem. We gonna square up like men. We gonna fight. Then we gonna go on about our day. He didn't want to listen. He wanted to stab Buck up. Buck like, nah, I'm not dealing with none of that. I ain't got no razors. Why my mother? I'm sitting over here. I'm looking. I'm thinking my mother's coming. Hi, child. I'm about to go in the house, man. My mom's just coming to ruin the whole show for me. I can't even watch the fight. My mom walks right past me. They say shit to me. Walks up to Buck, taps him on his shoulder. I don't know, Buck. Yo, Buck, let me know. If you hear this, Buck, please let me know if you remember this story. Because we was going down the lane from Paris and them crib that goes into Marcy Gardens, the basketball court. That little walkway area right there. My mom's taps him on the shoulder. Buck toes around. He goes, "You want one of these?" My mom's pulled out 2 razor blades. It was going past Buck, one of her razor blades. Buck was like, "Nah, I don't do weapons. We good. Appreciate you, Miss Tracy." Mom Dukes was about to take 2 razor blades out. She did not play. First of all, I as her son, didn't even know she owned razor blades. So I'm fucked up in the head. Like, where the fuck you get that from? But that shit was hilarious as hell, though. So, let's fast forward. That was a sidebar. Let's fast forward. Within this 5 seconds, I'm like, So, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I stood there for like a half a second. And then I bolted to the right and got the fuck on.com. Sure did. Ran my ass right in the house. Cleaned myself up. My mother crying and shit. Got the bleeding under control. So I ain't have no knots, no marks, no nothing. Just a bloody nose. After my nose started bleeding, I grabbed my football. Grabbed my football, came right outside. My mother like, "You going back out there with them?" Yeah, I am. If we gonna fight again, this time we fighting. And it is what it is. But I'm not gonna let these niggas keep me in the house. It's because I got beat up. I'm like, "Ma, just because I got beat up once, I gotta stay in the house." I'm gonna be doing a whole lot more fighting around here. I ain't gonna just be running in the house, staying in the house. And this is how I know that what I was going through wasn't something that Hambone decided to do because he was angry or mad or anything. I learned that day that this simply was the rite of passage in Marcy as a team. It is what it is. You got to go through this particular gauntlet, and I was the one going through it. They were testing me. I didn't know that at the time. I know that now. But this was let me know at the end result that they were testing me. Right? So we go downstairs. So I go downstairs, and they are coming from the baseball field. I guess their game is over or whatever like that. So they see me, and as soon as they see me, I believe it was either Dede or Hambone himself. But one of them said, "Oh, you back outside?" I'm like, "Yeah, back outside." So Hambone goes, "What you doing with that football?" I was like, "Shit, I'm trying to see if niggas try to play." He's like, "You play?" I was like, "Yeah, I play." So you quarterbacking it? Nah, I don't be throwing the ball. He would say, "I'll catch the ball," whatever like that. He's like, "I bet you on my team." I was like, "I bet." And from that day, honestly, he became my childhood friend. We've gotten so close one time we was calling each other's best friends. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you at all. And while we was playing, there was some dude from the other side playing with us. He said something about something to me, and I think Deshaun checked him. Yeah, it was Dede. Dede checked him, and Hambone backed Dede up. And in that moment, I realized how this project shit worked. Because remember, I wasn't from the projects. how this project shit worked was we as in us, our side, Marcy and Myrtle Avenue side, that corner, Marcy and Myrtle. We could talk about each other, we could clown each other, we could fight each other all we want, all day, every day. It is what it is. None of you niggas can't do it. And that's how I knew that I was accepted. Because they was willing to go there for me. You know, of course, I talked them down. I'm like, yo, don't worry about that nigga, yo, we out, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, for some reason, I always was the voice of reason. But that's my first day in Marcy, man. It was crazy. And the crazy part is, ever since that day, all of us always had each other back. And that I've seen that on the years as time passed. Like, niggas will be fighting each other, and it'll be somebody from like Tompkins Projects coming to Brock Wild out. The niggas that was just fighting is now, yo, you go, all right, let's go get these niggas. We ganging up to go get these Tompkins niggas. Like, it could be this side of the project versus this side of the project versus this side of the project. But as soon as those projects come, all sides of the projects get together. We gonna go bang on them niggas. We're not doing that. And that's when I knew I was part of a community. And that was my first day. And I think we ended the night playing Manhunt. We ended the night playing Manhunt, man. But that was my first day in Marcy, man. Shout out to my nigga Hambone. My nigga Hambone, man. Sleep in peace, King. We miss you. Watch that bump. We miss you, man. Forever in the day. You taught me a lot. You taught me a lot in that day. You taught me a lot as we grew up, too. I learned a lot from Marcy, period. Marcy molded me into the nigga I am now. So for y'all niggas who want to know why I'm a savage, why I got a quick temper, why I don't take no bullshit from nobody, it's because about what I was raised around, man. Marcy ain't for the lighthearted, man. Kuffa Falam, where I'm from, Marcy, son. Ain't nothing nice. That shit is what it is, man. Concrete jungle. There's a lot of roses and diamonds in there, too. Anyway, I gotta get up out of here, man. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. For everybody in Marcy, man, I love y'all. I miss y'all. Salute to y'all. We definitely got some more Marcy stories on the way. But until next time, man, y'all know the slogan. Stay loyal. Stay righteous. Most importantly, stay true to yourself. And I'm outie. 5,000. Peace.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
What's going on, everybody?
Audio
What's
Jungle.
going on? What's going on? Stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself. Stay loyal, stay righteous, stay true to yourself.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.